Hello guys, how are you? My name is Harry the Visionary Smith, and I'm here on YouTube just wanting to show you guys something that I have created. These things that I have created will be television game shows that you will probably be watching for the next 20 to 40 years. I'm about to take over the game show industry as you know it, based on the fact that I have created some very unique and innovative games that I believe people will love. Now I'm about to expose them on YouTube because I feel like it's time, and I feel like that I have done enough research, and right now we're in the marketing stage and the selling stage, so I think it's okay to go ahead and share it with the public because I feel like these are things that people might want to enjoy at home. And these games are really simple, so you can play them with your family before they even hit television, and then you'll look back and go, wow, he actually told us about these things before they happen. And that's part of being a visionary. Just wanted to let you know my background. My background is music and professional songwriter, also professional performer, poet. I won't get too in detail in that, but spoken word has been one of the things that has given me, what I call a creative release prior to me getting into creating television shows. I'm also a script writer, also a songwriter. So basically now what I want to do is I want to show you something called the concept of dice. These things right here are going to make me $1 billion. And the reason why they're going to do that is because no one else has come up with the concepts that I have come up with to use the concept of dice. Now, we all know that from the hood to Hollywood and to Vegas, everybody loves to roll the dice. Even when you're just at home playing with your family and you all are playing Monopoly or you're playing some other type of dice game like Yahtzee, you really, the dice roll is really the catalyst for whether or not you win or lose and how good you are at it. Well, because of the fact that, in game shows, you can't allow people to come on who are professionals and who may have an advantage. So we'll be using hand-sized dice in the game shows that I've created. And basically what will happen is we will create game boards, and those game boards will give you an opportunity to flip over numbers, and behind those numbers there will be words, phrases, there will be pictures, there will be all different types of things that you will basically have to decipher. Now the reason I say you can play these games at home with your family is because I'm going to show you how you can take your basic dollar store pair of hand-sized dice, and you can take your basic whiteboard that I'm going to show you here, and you can create your own game board, and you all can put it on the easel, and you can play for hours and hours and have a lot of fun, some great fun with their family and friends before these games even hit television. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to pass the board across the screen and you'll be able to see what it is. And as I mentioned to you, the board will have 11 numbers. It will have 7 through 12. Hopefully you can see all the numbers, and you can see the sad faces on the crap numbers, and you understand what that means. And you can see the dollar signs on the good numbers, because the good numbers represent the numbers that you want to roll. Now, and basically how I'm going to explain this to you is, let's just say, for YouTube's sake, I'm going to roll the dice. And I just rolled a 3. So basically, right here, as you see that sad face on the 3, that just tells you that you would lose a turn. So I'm going to turn around, and we move to the next contestant or a person in your family. They would roll the dice, and I just rolled a 9. So now we would go to the 9, and we would basically take the 9, and whatever the clue was, we would give you the clue, and let's just say, for YouTube's sake, that the clue happened to be a person. Okay? And let's just say that in square number 9, Hold on, let me get this top off. Okay. Oh, I almost broke my teeth, so that wouldn't have been good. But anyway, let's go back to the board, and let's just say in square number 9, we have an A. Okay, and we will write an A in there. Okay, and now we still have to continue with the next contestant, because now that particular person, with whoever's keeping score, would give that particular person 9 points, 90 points, 900 points, however you want to do it. For television's sake, we'll be giving away $900. But for your family's sake, you can just say, well, I've got 9 points. You can keep your own score, or you can have a scorekeeper. So I'm going to roll again. And I rolled a 5. So the next person would have the 5 flipped over, or for the whiteboard's sake, as we see, the 5 is in the middle. So we would take and we would put in another letter. And that letter would be, for this particular puzzle, it would be a K. Okay. So basically we now have the next person roll, and that person, but prior to that, the person who rolled the 5 would end up getting 5 points or 50 points or 500 points, whatever you guys calculations whatever denominations you want to use, times 10, times 100, whatever you want to do to make it more exciting for you. So I'm going to pretend I'm the next contestant or the next person, and I'm going to roll again. And this time I came up with a 4. So let's just say that the 4 ends up having, and I'm writing with my left hand, but I'm really right-handed, so I think I should switch over here to help you guys out. Let me turn around a little bit. Okay, and the 4 happens to be an N. So that third person who's playing the game with you would end up with 4 points, or 40 points, or 400, as I said before. And we'd still be looking at the, right now we have an N, a K, and an A. And we know that the clue is a person. Okay? And as I explained to you before, there are certain numbers on the board which are more valuable than others. For instance, the 7s. And the reason why the 7s are more valuable is because if you roll a 7, you're going to get to turn over, or you're going to get 2 opportunities to have 2 letters, which will enable you to solve the puzzle quicker. Okay? I know I'm getting a little out of frame here, but, you know, I'm in my eating kitchen, and I'm just trying to basically utilize the space that I have, and this board is a little awkward. So anyway, while we're talking about the 7s, let's talk about another number that gives you a second roll, which is an 11. If you roll a 7 or an 11, you actually get to roll again. So those are the numbers you kind of want. The numbers you don't want are 2, 3, and as you can see in number 12, the sad face, because you lose a turn. All right, and I guess I should have put that in here too. Lose a turn with your 2, because it's craps. Okay? All right, and you can leave that there until a person rolls that, and basically you would put in what I did, which I didn't probably do initially. I didn't put in the 3, but let's go back and do that. Take away the sad face, and we put in the letter for 3, and that's going to be another A, which I forgot to do. So right now we've got 2 A's and a K. Okay, and you know, people at any time when they roll, they have the option to try to guess who they think that this particular person is. So I'm going to roll again, okay? And as I rolled, I came up with another 9. Now, if you roll a 9, and the 9 is already there, basically, if you're the person who put the 9 there the first time, you're able to go back and roll again. But if not, you basically lose your turn. So let's say that the 9 was rolled by the same person again, the first person who rolled, and we'll give them another turn. And unfortunately, I just rolled a 9 again. So that person still gets another turn. And now we've rolled a 5. And the 5 has been rolled before, so that person will get another turn. We'll give the dice to someone else because they didn't roll the 5 initially. Okay? So the next contestant rolls. And then we have an 8. Let's go down to the 8. And where the 8 is, basically, let's see. The 8's going to give us an N. Okay? So we now have a two N, two A's, two N's, and a K. Okay. Maybe someone will decide at this point they think they know who this is, maybe not. So, okay, we move on, we roll again, but that person would have gotten 880 or 800 points. Okay, I'm going to roll, and now we rolled a 7, which is perfect. So we go up to the 7s, which means we're going to get 2 letters. We're also going to be able to get some extra bonus points. You can decide what bonus points you want to give that particular person when they roll a 7. It's up to you. Or they roll an 11. But for YouTube's sake, we're going to basically say we're going to give them 70 points for the first 7, 70 for the second 7, which will give them 140 points. And basically, we're going to turn over the 2 letters. And the 2 letters are, one is a F, and the other one is an I. And at that point, if it were me, I would probably take a guess and say, hey, what star or what famous person do I know whose name begins with the S and might have an I and an A in it? I don't know. But then somebody might say, could it possibly be Frank Sinatra? Absolutely. And if we get rid of this and we turn around and we say, okay, let's fill the blanks in. 2 is a R. We've got Frank. S. I-N-A. T down here, T, R, erase this unhappy face down here in number 12, and add another A. And as you can see on the board, the clue is Frank Sinatra. Okay, so I'm going to put the puzzle away, and as I basically explained to you, that's really how simple it is. And because it's so simple, it's going to make me a lot of money. And we are in the process of creating these game shows and selling them to the networks and the cable stations. Of course, you know, being the creator that I am, I have created many game show ideas. These are just the ones that I believe that will interest the networks initially. And then as we continue to build our resume with networks and cable networks, that they will come calling and they will say, what else do you have? And of course, when you're a creative person, kind of like, you know, the Shonda Rhimes of the evening TV game, you have to have more than one bullet in your gun, so to speak. And I do. But at the same time, I just want to give you guys an understanding of these things are not, you know, how can I put it? These things are not something that you want to even consider trying to copy, because of course I've done my due diligence and I've copywritten them. I've also had my lawyers take a look at the ideas and concepts and things, and basically what they're telling me is if someone steals them, let's just hope they steal them really big, like they're a big network and they try to put the game show out, because the bigger they steal them, the bigger we sue them. And that's just how it is. So I just wanted to share this with you guys and let you know that Harry the Visionary is busy at work, and that you guys will soon be loving my game shows on television. And all I can say is look out Family Feud, look out Jeopardy, and look out Wheel of Fortune, because the Eugenius Arts Enterprise team is on the way. Bye.